Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70mm podcast for movie lovers just like you. Disclaimer at the top of the show, we're not experts, but we do love watching movies. With me each and every episode is my close friend and artist, Danny Haas.
Hello.
And our close friend and movie insider, Proto.
I thought I was one of a kind.
Every movie that we cover is connected to a theme for that month, and this time it was Mount GOATMORE. We're creating our own version of Mount Rushmore, a monument in honor of the greatest of all time. We'll announce the first ever edition in this episode, and you can use the chapters in your podcast app to skip to our main discussion from 2001, AI, Artificial Intelligence.
You think people are thinking right now, it's Spielberg.
Of course, these idiots pick Steven Spielberg. Was it ever in doubt? Yeah. I knew it. Well, guess what? You're wrong.
William Hurt.
Take us down, Spotify. I dare you. It's time to announce the first addition to the very first monument. Is it too loud?
It's the loudest
so
music
loud.
I've ever
It's not
heard.
even loud for me.
I can't even hear you.
How about now?
Oh, that's
Yes,
good.
better. Thank you.
Okay, I can't even hear it in my
weird.
headphones. I wonder why.
Now they're thinking it's John Williams.
John, shut it off. Shut it off, John. I just waved to John in the room to shut it off. This is the first ever award in the show history. It's like I said earlier, it's like Mount Rushmore, but for movies. We got a nomination on IG from The Jetty.
Oh.
Dear friend of ours, Photoshop maestro, meme master.
Meme master.
And honestly, it all fell into place. We sent the nomination in our DMs, and we all just kind of like fell over. Co-founder of Amblin. First produced movie was E.T.
Gosh.
Then Jurassic Park, the franchise. Later oversaw the sequel trilogy. Rogue One. Andor. Are you getting it now? It's Kathleen Kennedy, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when you think about it, like, was it ever in doubt? In like, when you look at the show and the movies that we've covered.
Right.
Danny, what did you think about when this came up?
Oh, I knew it was perfect right away. Because I love Kathleen dearly. Anytime I watch a Spielberg making of, she's there by his side producing these films, and when I even watched the making of for AI, she's in these as well, producing and working with Spielberg, and it's I love her. I love Kathleen.
Yeah. Proto, do you love Kathleen, and how much?
I do.
So.
Well, when I think of Kathleen, you often think, did Steven Spielberg make himself? Did George Lucas make himself? Did John Williams? Did these guys do it all alone?
No.
Or was there someone else, someone in the shadows who helped them become who they were meant to be?
Light the fuse.
Did she light the fuse for all of these men?
It's a great question.
Well said. I mean, let me just pull up this copious list that Dale has printed out and put it on our desk. Executive producer of Gremlins, The Goonies, Back to the Future, Back to the Future 2, 3, Gremlins 2, one of the most bizarre and amazing films ever created, Cape Fear, Schindler's List, Signs, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which we have now deemed goated since we covered that movie.
Agreed.
And those are just the executive. Regular producer, E.T., Color Purple, The Money Pit, Empire of the Sun, Arachnophobia, Hook, Jurassic Park, Bridges of Madison County. I'm not going to name them all, folks. We don't have enough time.
Yeah,
no tape.
We have other things to do in this episode.
So Kathleen Kennedy, congratulations. I know that she was off on assignment. She couldn't join us. She didn't have the time to send us a video recording or a piece of audio. She's very busy. Probably relaxing after Andor, to be honest.
Kicking her feet up.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Enjoy the win a little bit.
Enjoy the dub. And hopefully this 70 millimeter dub of being the first one etched in stone in Mount Goatmore is making that relaxation just a little bit sweeter. We got a lot to get to tonight. We're doing AI in honor of Kathleen, in tribute. We'll get into that at the bottom of the hour. But we also have to talk about next month. Next month's theme for July. It's almost July. Proto was just at the pool. You heard about this, Danny? Proto's at the pool.
What was he doing at the pool?
It's happening. The summer.
It's summertime.
It's summertime. Yeah.
Summertime for Proto.
We're getting wet, you know?
You got to get wet.
As often as we can.
I need everyone listening right now to get as wet as possible because we're about to talk about July. We're doing Blockbusted again. Volume 3, movies that underperformed at the box office. Actually, I forgot that we did this, but last time we did Blockbusted, it was movies that underperformed or overperformed.
Oh, really?
I wonder if that would have swayed any of our picks had we remembered that.
Probably.
We had the whole month planned out already.
I already made the graphic.
Danny did an amazing graphic. Hopefully folks are seeing that in chapters or on Instagram somewhere. In the past, the last time we did this, we did Sorcerer. Incredible episode. Wow. The Insider. Remember that? That was
my Sorcerer 4K just shipped from Criterion.
What? Hello.
How much was that? That was probably pretty petty. 40 bones?
I don't know.
Was that a 40?
I can't keep up.
Casey, shut it off. Don't even look.
Don't look.
Don't look at the PayPal records. We did The Insider with Alpa. And then I chose Godzilla -1. I need to rewatch that movie. And then, of course, we did Heaven's Gate. Remember that?
Oh, my God. Heaven's Gate.
The main thing I remember is the fiasco of me watching multiple versions of that movie and accidentally watching the same version twice and not realizing it. So, Danny, you're kicking off July with your pick.
I am. I think when we talk about Blockbusted, I think if you had a Mount Goatmore of Blockbusted, I think Costner would have etched himself onto the mountain for these. So we're going back to the well of Costner.
Finally.
The Postman. I've actually never seen The Postman. So I have no idea what to expect. I did watch the trailer before I picked, and I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about just by watching the trailer.
It's like, what is it? Like a dystopian future, but only the Postman can save us.
Well, everyone is like, have their own factions around America at this point. And he takes up the mantle, I think, of keeping communication up between all of these. I don't know. But he looks incredible. Mm-hmm. It looks insane. So I'm excited. I'm excited to finally fire it up. I think I have the VHS of it, actually.
Have you seen his drip in this movie? Have you seen any of his costumes?
I've seen this movie. I have a pretty good story. I mean, a classic story for the reason why I watched this when I was a teenager. So I'll say we'll have to save it for the show.
Okay, awesome.
Excellent. My pick is next, and everyone calm down.
Right. I just remembered your pick.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
It shocked me all over again.
I had a few potential options, but one I am actually morbidly curious to watch. It felt like it had been coming out for maybe 6 years. It came out and had a terrible press kerfuffle because one of the cast stood against genocide. God forbid. But that's Snow White 2025.
Yeah.
Directed by the King, Mark Webb. This is streaming on Disney Plus. I almost, it's a 1.9 on Letterboxd.
Oh my God.
That's very low.
I didn't realize that.
Me neither. But I almost put it on the other day. I was like, you know what? I kind of want to watch. What is this movie? Can it be that bad? Could Gal Gadot be that bad? Proto?
In the movie or in real life?
I guess now we're all going to have to find out.
Yeah, you forced our hand.
So anyway, that's the pick. And then
A big one.
We were going even bigger. This is an event movie.
We're pre-busting.
We will all pre-bust during the third week of the month. We will be covering James Gunn's Superman.
Yeah.
The brand new picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're back in theaters.
This could be an overperform.
It could be.
I was just going to say, please, let's all pray.
Yeah.
This overperforms a Superman?
Yeah.
A Superman overperforms? Okay.
Everyone, I feel like we've all been really excited for this movie to come out, but I think we're all getting slowly nervous.
Yeah. I
As
need
we get
James to
closer.
stop talking.
James is on the press tour.
He's on the press tour.
Hot
James,
mic.
please.
He's got the black and white photos. But I don't know. I feel like you've always been nervous about this movie, Danny.
I am, because I feel like Superman is kind of hard. I mean, it took us, I don't know. Superman's a tough one. I'm nervous because I don't love Gunn either. I don't hate James. I think the first Guardians of the Galaxy is great. But then it just kind of, I don't know, the second and the third just kind of keep dipping for me a bit. So I get nervous. This is like it's not just like James Gunn coming in and just doing a DC movie. We're kicking off like
The future
for DC. And I mean, it's scary because I'm sick and tired of,
You're nervous.
I'm tired of not enjoying comic book movies anymore. So I'm like, I've been out of the game for so long, so put out with Marvel and DC. So I'm like, can we please jumpstart my love of comic book movies again? Please.
We need to love again.
Well,
But every time I see Skylar
Who?
Gisondo, he's playing
it's,
Jimmy Olsen in this.
Oh.
I get very excited for that. I don't know how to say his last name.
Dude
but
is
I think
perpetually like 19.
yes, exactly. And I think he's so funny.
Yeah, he's great.
Like, especially in Booksmart. So I'm excited for him as Jimmy Olsen.
Smart. What it up?
I think this is James Gunn's, this is his Zack Snyder moment, right?
I think
Because you think about it, Zack was in the same exact spot. And then Man of Steel kind of predicted the next 2 or 3 movies that we kind of, that we got from him, like where his style was going, someone who had complete creative control to tell the story they want. I mean, this is James Gunn's moment, right? This is going to tell us a lot about what's coming down the pike. I mean, we could be overperforming, but there's 2 sides to the coin. So
Scary.
a lot on the line right now.
Can't wait to get into it in 3 weeks, folks.
We're so close.
The movie will be out, opinions will be flying, and we will settle in.
It's only 3 weeks away. That's crazy.
I'm sorry,
I didn't
I might be
realize
wrong.
that.
That's like I think it's way longer because we're doing another app next
Yeah.
week. So maybe 4.5 weeks out. 5 weeks from now, we'll be doing Superman. Proto, you're wrapping up the month.
Oh, yeah.
Big one.
What's it going to be?
My picture is Gattaca.
Oh my God.
We're back in the 90s.
Yeah,
I
baby.
think it's
Where we belong.
1997.
Back to the Postman year.
Ethan Hawke. I mean, and then I said in our DMs, we're getting back-to-back months with, some say, a GOAT, Jude Law.
Yeah.
I mean, him and
People are saying.
Gattaca. Can't wait to revisit this. This was a classic movie. I remember seeing this with my dad. Blowing my mind at the time.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a story for this one too. I'm excited.
What?
okay.
Everyone's got a freaking story but me. What the hell?
Gotta get out of
Give
the
it time.
get out
Tony Shalhoub. This is
Oh, yeah.
Tony's first appearance on the show. Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman and Jude Law and Alan Arkin. It's a
Unreal.
3.8 on Letterboxd.
That's pretty good for a busted.
Letterboxd community showing some love for these two. I've never seen this. I've only heard of it.
Really?
Oh, I can't wait to
okay.
talk about it.
I'm excited
This
to
is a
watch.
big movie for me.
That's cool.
Formative.
I mean, this is
Is
right
this
up there
the
with
Matrix?
Stargate.
Oh my God.
Okay, so that is July. Blockbusted Volume 3. That is, we've got a lot done so far. We've announced the first addition to Mount Goatmore. Kathleen Kennedy, a tribute tonight. Blockbusted, and let's check the time. We have some time here.
Yeah.
Proto, you and the press corps. You went to see a big one early before everybody
Oh, yeah.
as of recording.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
I put my press hat on, went into Philadelphia, I got to bring my little brother along, John Mark, and we saw 28 Years Later.
Goodness.
The new one from Danny Boyle.
The master.
Written by, of course, Alex Garland. The Master returns.
Another one.
So, I mean, really, this is like we have a 28 Weeks Later, but that wasn't a Danny Boyle movie. So in a lot of ways, this is like his sequel.
Oh, Boyle didn't do 28 weeks?
No. As far as I'm aware, he's like kind of ignored it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is like, and of course, this is the start of a franchise. Like, who would have thought? I don't know where you go with the name, though. I mean, are we doing this?
I think it's part 1 and part 2 and part 3. This is the Force Awakens of the 28 Days Later franchise.
I'm sorry. There's 3.
There's going to be
28
this is
years
kicking
later.
off a trilogy, Danny. A trilogy.
Right, I'm already out. I'm out. I haven't even seen the first 2.
He's already out.
Well, I think you should definitely watch the first one. And I think anyone who likes the first one will like this one. I think there's a good chance. I haven't seen the 28 Days Later in a long time, but from what I remember of that, this movie is, it has the same like visual style, of course. You know, Danny Boyle's his movies are all shot in a similar way with his partner cinematographer. But it definitely seems like it's grown with like, I think there's like it seems to be like a lot of drone work in this that is pretty cool.
Oh,
hello.
Yeah, so the landscape shots are great. Ralph Fiennes is great in this. So I think it's a good movie. You know, if you're trying to get out of the heat,
it is.
Get in the theater. 28 Years Later, gave it 3 stars. Had a good time.
Yeah, I am seeing a lot of varying reviews about like the first act is something, the second act is something, and then the third act is like people going WTF.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When I was watching it, in like the last 10 minutes, somebody behind me said, "This is the worst movie I have ever seen." And it's definitely not that bad.
Press from the New Yorker.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. Hopefully I can trick Amanda into seeing it. But I want to rewatch the...
Why do you have to trick her into seeing it? This isn't in her
going
vibe?
out to the theater when they have like 30 minutes of previews. Like, this is a difficult conversation to have.
Yeah. Why don't you time it right?
Yeah, but sometimes if you can't time it right, you look foolish.
Right.
You miss something. Maybe there's another 20 minutes. I don't know.
You've gotten burned both ways.
Yeah.
Got it from both ends.
I can't stand getting it from both ends anymore. I did get a win recently. We watched Friendship. With Tim Robinson. You know, this guy is the belle of the ball. He's got that television show. What's the television show he's calling? Hold on. I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. Do you guys watch that?
No.
Have you ever seen that?
A little bit.
I've seen GIFs. Like a lot of GIFs.
A lot
of
GIFs.
GIFs.
GIF
The hot
master.
dog suit.
Tim Robinson might be known more as like a GIF than anyone in internet history at this point.
It's Tim and Michael Scott.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe the not like this GIF from The Matrix. But it's if you liked his comedy, I think you should enjoy this movie. It's him and Danny's boy Paul Rudd.
My boy.
Just kind of like being neighbors and becoming friends, and then it goes south and Tim Robinson reacts to that. I was dying watching this. In several scenes, I was like guffawing. The score is shockingly good and fits really well. Tim Robinson did not write it. This was like written for him. In my review, I said he's like a mix of Kirk Van Houten and Pee Wee Herman. And I was really proud of that.
Who's the first person you said?
Kirk Van Houten is Milhouse's dad from The Simpsons.
Oh, a Simpsons reference.
But the Pee Wee Herman stuff, maybe people have said this already, but his like style of comedy and just his mannerisms, like he feels like Pee Wee Herman's cousin somehow. There's just some kind of connection there that hopefully someone will write a long form essay on. But I had a lot of fun. 4 stars. Amanda did not like it.
Wow,
I didn't hear her laugh once.
Oh.
I turned back to her and she's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Thank you, Amanda.
And we went our separate ways that evening.
Wow, you're blowing my mind with this Pee Wee Herman parallel now.
Right?
I totally see it when I think about him. That is so weird.
It is. It like stuck with me for half the movie. Like, am I the first person to ever notice
Even
this?
the way he kind of like tilts his head.
Yes. Oh boy, but it's definitely worth the viewing. I saw the reviews for this come in, from our friend group. It was like a pretty big mix of like 3 and 4, but it's like a low budget, low stakes comedy. Kind of reminded me of like I Like Movies in terms of like low budget stuff. Like kind of this would have been like a DVD hit to put it one way. But that kind of world is gone now. It's just like comes out in theaters and it's gone forever.
Yeah.
Danny, what about you?
I'm gearing up for F1 next week. F1 the movie. So I watched 2 race car movies. One from 2023, Gran Turismo. And I believe I think a lot of us did watch it because of it having a trailer for like 3 years straight in front of every movie we saw. I think there was the line about throwing up on my track or something that was in the trailer that everyone hated.
Right.
So I never watched it. I didn't really care. I'm not a PlayStation person, so I never played the game. So I've no connected to it. So I just kind of bailed on it after everyone, panned it. So I fired it up this week. I actually had a good time watching it. I didn't know it was a true story, that they set up this kind of tournament or race challenge for these kids who were really good at the game to be able to move on to this racing academy that Nissan put on to be able to actually race these cars in actual GT races. And I think knowing it's a true story made me kind of engage with it a little bit more than I probably would have if it was just like just some random story. So I kind of enjoyed that. I think the acting was fine. The race scenes I thought looked great. There's a great little montage at the end kind of showing the true story bit. And I just kind of liked it. I liked the story a lot. And I had a great time watching it. I'm not going to like recommend it to people who don't love kind of race car movies because I don't think they would actually enjoy it as much. I did find it cool that the actual true story of the kid, he still races. He's raced over 200 races and he was the stunt race car driver for the actor in the movie, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is nice.
So anyway, I had a good time watching it. And then I fired up Days of Thunder. Just an absolute delight of a film. Yeah. Everyone is just smoking hot in that movie.
My God.
Tom's greasy, jeans. Sweaty. Tom's jeans.
Yeah.
Nicole, Dr. Nicole Kidman. Kidding me? Had a great time watching Days of Thunder as well. So next Wednesday, I'm off to see F1 the movie. That was my week so far.
How about them rumored to be doing a Days of Thunder sequel?
I mean, listen.
Is this can they do it again? Can they run it
get
back?
Tom and Nicole back?
I don't think Nicole's gonna want to come back.
I mean, if she did though.
If she did, then Tom is going to be canonized a saint for somehow getting his ex-wife to come back for Days of Thunder 2.
He offers her a paycheck she can't refuse.
I mean,
honestly, she only does movies directed by women these days. I think that's like one of the main things she pivoted to. So, I don't think that's
Greta Gerwig's Days of Thunder.
Oh my God. Did you realize that the Gran Turismo was directed by Neil Blomkamp?
I didn't want to say it.
You didn't want to bring. We don't have to.
We don't talk about it.
We don't have to talk about it.
Internet darling.
What was once
Blockbusted.
You talk about Blockbusted.
Talk about a buster.
Philip and Katie joined our Patreon this week. $4 a month. Got access to our Discord, where our movie community is, and uncut episodes. They get uncut episodes right after we're done recording. Usually about 30 more minutes or so in the post show. And we're gonna try something different. We might include that in the regular episode that goes out to the public. So if you're listening to the end of this episode and you see that there's some time left, then maybe stick around because we get into some hot topics like fried chicken, Elon Musk, Costco, ICE.
Nope.
We'll get it. Walter Goggins.
Goggins.
That's what we're going to get into in the post show, folks. So if that's what you're craving, then Patreon is where you need to be. But we need to talk about the main course from producer Kathleen Kennedy, from Mount Goatmore, broadcasting live, episode 269. Nice. AI, artificial intelligence. Proto, what's this movie all about?
In the near future, human simulacrum has been achieved in the form of robotic servants, lovers, and anything humans require. One company decides to build a robot child that can love. David, an 11-year-old boy, fills the hole for a couple that has had their only son in a coma. Imprinted on his mother Monica to love her unconditionally for as long as he is conscious, David must make sense of his existence when he is discarded. Can David become real and love his mother again? Or does David's love make him real? AI.
My God. John, please.
John, not now. Please. We'll get to your music in a minute. My God, he's so annoying. AI, artificial intelligence. What was the year? 2001.
Big
What a
year.
Cripes
Graduating high school.
alive. Yeah, I was graduating high school as well.
Yeah.
Part of you were just getting into 8th grade, I would assume.
Freshman.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Do you have memories of AI, artificial intelligence, Proto, this movie? What's your first memory of this film?
Oh man, I want to say I saw this in theaters, but I'm not sure. But I can definitely remember watching this with my dad and this having an effect on me. I wouldn't say it was I think this was a movie that I found confusing at the time, but kind of stayed in my mind for a long time. And I've always continued to think about this movie, or when it comes up, it's really fascinating to me. So I definitely have seen it more than once before this and saw it with my dad. But this was a movie. I mean, my dad is, he's a sci-fi nut. So, this and the conversations that it would spawn after it were good times.
What's it going to take to get your dad on the show?
The Matrix Redux.
Just remembering this
I have
is gonna be
questions.
uncut.
Proto thought for a good 10 seconds about what he wanted to respond with. I don't remember seeing this in theaters. I feel like I was just not interested in this movie at any point. I have vague memories of Stanley Kubrick. This is Stanley Kubrick's movie, and Spielberg is doing it for him. They're old friends. And, how different is it? Is it the same? What would he have done? Right before this, let's see. 1997, Jurassic Park, The Lost World. 1997 as well, Amistad. 1998, Saving Private Ryan.
Cripes.
When everything changed. Interesting. Yeah. So, and then 2001 was his next feature film. AI, artificial intelligence. And then I actually was confused by this. I couldn't remember if Minority Report had come out before this or after, because the visuals in this, it feels like it takes place in the Minority Report cinematic universe.
Yeah, totally.
The lighting and everything. And before someone yells at me, why didn't they mention the cinematographer? Janis Kaminski.
Janis.
He's
been
Kaminski.
with Steven for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, God.
Yeah.
Look at all these movies they've done together. Cripes. So I think the first time that I had really watched this as an adult was probably for the Letterboxd show. Rest in peace, the Letterboxd podcast. Disclaimer, I work for Letterboxd, but I don't speak for Letterboxd.
I do.
And that was the first time I'd ever really seen it, and I was pretty shocked by what I saw. Danny, do you have memories of this movie?
I actually have no memories of this movie, and I know I've never seen it before. For Spielberg being such a stronghold in my life, there's a gap, like a high school, early 2000s gap of Spielberg that there's a few that I haven't seen, and I really have never been drawn to go back to. AI was kind of like one of them, and I feel like I don't know. I just wasn't interested really in this film. I didn't know about the Kubrick stuff until, we getting more into movies. But I was smitten with the logo. I love this logo so much. I don't know. I would get this logo tattooed on my body. I love it so much.
God.
I love when it's animated and he steps out of the A. It's great. It's a fantastic logo. It's smart. Other than that, I've never seen this. This is my first viewing.
William Hurt. I mean, when will he be added to Mount GOATMORE? William Hurt,
I mean, the list of goats in this movie alone that we could generate,
it's insane.
I mean, the first ballots,
First ballot goat. What a silly sentence. Let's see. Who wants to start it off? Pro, do you want to start it off? What's the top of your list for AI, artificial intelligence?
The top of my list, the first thing I thought of during the speech at the beginning that William Hurt gives, and when that came on, I was like, oh man, this is iconic. Like, I remember this scene so vividly and being so like, just being kind of like really drawn into this movie immediately with the way that it looked, the things that Hurt is saying about artificial intelligence and robots and love, and just being like totally taken by how this is set up. The thing that struck me this time is he gives this speech, about we're going to make this child, it's going to love, and not because it's like imitating love, but because it actually does love, yada, yada. And then it flashes 20 months later. And I feel like when I saw this, if I, seeing this in 2001, I would have said like, this is so ridiculous. There's no way that they would have a robot child in 20 months in production that somebody could use. But watching this in 2025 and seeing how like AI has sped ahead and the companies that are in charge of it, I'm like, actually, yes, this makes perfect sense that someone would put a product out like this in 20 months. Here's a robot child that will love you and be attached to you forever. You want to try it out? Like, it's so absurd, but it makes sense today.
Maybe this is like Sam Altman and Johnny Ives' company, the $6 billion company. This is the product they're working on.
Well, hearing William Hurt, I was like thinking like, who do we have now? We have Sam Altman like trying to give speeches like this, like wax poetic about it. And it's like, dude, just shut up.
I love that speech at the beginning too. And I wrote this word down. I think the most modern like time that I've heard this word is from Apex Legends, because one of the characters is a robot, but it's simulacrum. I wrote it down in like phonetics because I never know how to pronounce it. And maybe everyone has a different pronunciation of simulacrum. It's like such a sci-fi word.
Yeah,
you don't
so good.
really see people say that in like day-to-day conversations. But yeah, that speech was cool. I liked how they're talking in that scene about like how, maybe even before this, but the ice caps melted, greenhouse gases have like, sunk Manhattan, but like they're all still based in like New Jersey. That's the one thing I couldn't figure out. How did New Jersey survive? But like New York is underwater for the most part, right? They're talking about Trenton.
Questions.
They're talking about Haddonfield. Like, shouldn't that be underwater too?
Yeah, maybe it's a little fuzzy in terms. Yeah,
That's
but
probably
totally. Well, also like, where is it? Well, no, yeah, you're right. I mean, New Jersey's got to be underwater, right?
Right. It has to be underwater. I didn't quite get that, but I thought it was still cool that like they're referencing all these like New Jersey cyber. Is it called Cybertronics of New Jersey?
Yeah,
something like that.
Should make a hat.
But I mean, this is our future, right? Like these companies just building robots. Like what they say, they capped having kids, and all the jobs were replaced by robots. Like, we're kind of getting there.
There's some scary moments listening to the AI conversations in this.
Yeah. But then also that like most of society seems to revile the robots for taking their jobs. They took our jobs.
Flesh fair.
Yeah, I don't know. It's possible, folks.
One thing about that intro conversation, I was glued to him the whole time. When he like activates her like core thing.
Oh yeah.
It still looks pretty damn good. I was
Looks
actually
great.
shocked how good it looked. And I think that kind of set the tone for the rest of the movie, because I was kind of cringing at seeing a year 2001 AI movie that is going to be full of CG. And for that to be like the intro to the androids of this film, I was like, hell yes, this looks great. I was shocked.
Yeah, the scene, like there's so many of those scenes that they nailed. Like later in the movie at the Flesh Fair, where the nanny bot turns her head sideways. It's like obviously like let's flex a little bit here. That looks incredible.
I vividly remember the trailer having that and being like, whoa, that was like the whoa moment in the trailer.
And yeah, you're right. I mean, this is almost 25 years old.
Yeah.
2000. There's a lot of crap from 2000, 2001.
Right.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, you have Spielberg money that
true.
was a Kubrick script, and you get ILM to do it coming off of episode 1. So it's like everyone's, chomping at the bit.
Right. Was it Dennis Muren who I saw in one of the making ofs, who the main reason I even know that name is from the ILM documentaries.
Yeah.
But then also they had Stan Winston there.
Oh, Stan Winston's his robot. They're like 45 different robots. Like insane. That whole Flesh Fair is like 6 feet off the ground, and there's like all these guys controlling the puppets under it, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
The walking teddy bear was bonkers. I can't get over that. Like it's a puppet. There's so few CG scenes of the bear that it was like shocking how well this puppet was made.
Yeah. Goated bear.
There's a clip of Haley talking about it riding his back, and it's like a 30-pound bear because it's someone controlling it with all the wires.
I love Teddy in this. I forgot, like as soon as I started watching it again, I was like, oh yeah, hell yes, Teddy is in this. I love you, Teddy.
I wrote down in my notes that it was I said Teddy Giamatti because I thought it was Paul Giamatti doing the voice, so I thought it was Paul.
Who does the voice?
It's this voice actor.
That was just the voice actor?
Yeah, Jack Angel. He was in a lot of Toy Story movies.
When she was like, his name's Teddy, I'm like, Stanley, we could have found not Teddy for a bear's name at this point in 2001 or whatever year this movie's set in.
Yeah. Yeah, love Teddy. The making of stuff with Teddy is so cool. They have like the wires set up and people were just wearing like blue outfits. Yeah. And they're just like moving his legs. Like, oh my God, everyone working on this movie is so talented. It's nuts. Like I know we're jumping around, but like the scene where they are in the city and Gigolo Joe is showing him around. He's like doing his little dance moves or whatever. And they see the... is it Dr. No?
Yeah.
Dr. No.
They're in that area, and also just that entire city stuff just looks so fun and awesome.
Insane.
But they did this using the technique that I think we heard of in the ILM season 2, I think, but like when they're filming it, it's like all green screen. But they use the thing where like they use a special camera where they see what they're going to want to put in the movie in the camera. So like they're seeing everything that will like be close to final in frame. Was that like an episode 1 thing? I feel like we had just talked about that recently.
I don't know, because when they were showing like the 800 discs on the ceiling that were tracking where people were walking and where the CG city was laid out, I feel like all of the Star Wars docs from episode 1 would have shown this kind of tech. Because they show Spielberg being able to like see the city as they're like in the camera, and then he could rearrange how he's doing things based off of the angles he's getting with the backgrounds being superimposed just in the camera he's watching. Yeah. I don't think George had that tech.
I could swear we watched some making of where I feel like I saw this technology, and I couldn't remember if it was episode 1 or 2. Something we covered. I feel
anyway,
like.
I was rocking my world, and then to find out that even the CG backgrounds were miniatures still that were made that were just put in as well, like the lady bent over building and all these wild buildings that they had to build are props. They're still miniatures that they handmade, which were insane to me as well.
There's one scene in the making of where they're talking about the Manhattan cityscape and like the tilted over building that's like in the water. That whole stuff wasn't amazing, but one of the guys refers to it as a computer graphics painting.
Yeah, I heard that.
I've never heard that phrase before in my entire life. And I was like, I fell over.
CGP, the old CGP.
I was like, why did we never use that phrase ever again in the 20 years since this movie? Like, that sounds perfect for it. But yeah, that Manhattan stuff with like where the lions weep, and then you eventually see that the statues. Holy God, that looks so cool.
I mean, the underwater set too of, Geppetto's and the Pinocchio and that kind of fair that they kind of submarine through. That's all practical sets too. Like blowing my mind.
Yeah. Top of my list overall, I mean, is Haley Joel Osment the greatest child actor who ever lived?
Yes. I mean, can
we settle it now?
First ballot GOAT child actor.
I mean, honest to
first
God.
ballot GOAT. It's crazy how good this kid is in this movie. There is a scene. I mean, there's so many scenes that I like stopped in my tracks. Even rewatching it, there's one scene where he's getting like, he has the conversation with William Hurt. And he's like so gobsmacked about like all this bad news he's getting.
I thought I was one of a kind.
My son was one of a kind. You are the first of a kind. David?
My brain is falling out.
He's like, my brain is falling out. But the way he delivers it, he's like almost so emotionally stunted. He's like not even moving. And then there's a scene where Teddy, like the future robots, are telling him that like, yes, we can bring someone back, but we need a piece of bone, or like, whatever. His standing there, like his head tilted, and he's just like weeping. And Teddy is trying to get his attention. And he doesn't move. He's like, yes, Teddy. He's like so damaged emotionally. He doesn't even move. It's insane. Where was Oscar?
Thank you.
Where the F was Oscar for this kid? It's crazy good.
That's literally my first note is where's the Oscar for Haley? The scene that made me stop to Google if he was even nominated was in the very beginning when she decides to implant on him or whatever they call it. What's the word? Is that the right word they use? Imprint. Thank you. And she puts her hand on his neck and she starts saying the words. And he has that smile on his face that goes from smile to, I don't even know the emotion he's portraying, but it changes.
He's inventing emotions.
He's inventing, like, thank you. Yes, he's so good. He's inventing emotions, but it was like, he was like, the imprinting was like fully connecting with his mother. And his emotion that he portrayed in that scene, I'm like, pause. Was he nominated for an Oscar for this movie? And of course he wasn't. Of course he wasn't. There's no way they're going to give him an Oscar for this movie.
Ridiculous.
I was constantly blown away by him in this. There was never a moment where I doubted him as one of the greatest actors of all time.
Yes.
Not a moment.
Yeah, it's like he invented what a child robot would look like who could love.
Yes.
I mean,
Right.
Of course, like this is my first experience with this robot child, but the way he portrays it's like so believable. And the way he performs as a robot is just nuts. There's a scene early on. I think it's the first scene where he's sitting at the table having a meal and he's like imitating her right before he like laughs, that like loud laugh.
Oh
But
my
Oh my
God.
God.
his
Crazy.
eyes move back and forth in between the mom and dad. And the way it does it, it's like I've never, like, he looks like a robot, the way he's just moving his eyes and moving his arms, the way he communicates. It's so believable that it feels like he is a prop in the movie. Like,
right.
Is this all CGI too? Like, is this kid real?
There's an interview with him, and he was talking, and he said the hardest part for him through the whole process is he doesn't blink in the entire movie. And so he had to keep himself from blinking in all the scenes.
That's so wild.
I didn't even like clock that at all while watching the film.
Gosh. Did you see too in the making of, who knows how many years ago this plan was, but like they thought about not using a real child. They thought about using like a puppet or a CG child. And I think Spielberg even says that like the puppet was like trash. Like their original like designs was like, this is not usable in any way. Like what world would that have even been? And also that would have made like the Pinocchio stuff even more obvious if they had done like a Stan Winston puppet or something. That would have been crazy. Danny.
Well, since we talked Haley, can we talk the Kubrick of it all? I was I think that part of like reading about the history of this kind of blew my mind because this goes back, he was developing this in the 80s, the mid 80s. And it wasn't till mid 90s when he contacted Spielberg about doing this film. It was based off a book called Super Toys Last All Summer Long and Other Stories of Future Time by Brian Aldiss. And this idea that you have these two like absolute titans talking to each other about a film to make, and Kubrick approaching Spielberg to direct this, and Kubrick wanted to produce it at the time. And not it. The thing that blew my mind was Spielberg pushing back and him saying, "How about I produce and you direct it?" Mm-hmm. And then it got to the point where it was like, "We're not going to talk about this for a little bit." But they set up this. They set up a fax machine to where the two of them could fax the scripts back and forth to each other to talk about.
Right, was his closet or something?
It's in Spielberg's closet. He didn't let anyone else kind of get the fax from Stanley, and they worked on it.
And like that scene from Insider.
I mean, Kubrick had over 1,000 storyboards already produced, a 90-page treatment, and it gets to the point where Kubrick passes away, and his widow contacts Spielberg, and she says to her, "This film will never see the light of day unless you make it." And so that's when he decided to make it in honor of Stanley for his legacy. I'm just like blown away by this story. Mm-hmm. And it's fascinating to me that this kind of stuff happens behind the scenes. I think in our world now, this stuff we would know about it like right away. Like these people are talking, it would get leaked or something.
Right.
But to have this idea that Kubrick and Spielberg were having these conversations about making a movie about artificial intelligence that he started developing in the 80s just kind of rocked my world learning that.
Yeah. Yeah, there was this, I think in the making of, they talked about the voice actor you mentioned, Proto, didn't even know what the movie was about that he was recording. He was just like sent the lines and that's it. Like there was like so much secrecy about everything. I guess Kubrick was like that also, and like, his filmography, like NDAs, and you only got certain parts of the script and whatnot.
I heard someone, I read online, just someone talking about like how Kubrick, like you can tell that it's a Kubrick script by how harsh it is. And then like mixing his like worldview or viewpoint of how to tell this story. Cause it is, I mean, it's kind of, it's a dark kind of like tragedy through the whole way through. But like having Spielberg direct that movie, who is like, like the Amblin master, and how this movie, it feels almost like a dark Amblin movie. Like it feels like an adult Amblin movie in those ways of just like how heavy the themes are. And it's such a crazy combination of like Kubrick's storytelling, but shot through Spielberg.
Yeah. And I think this is the only movie that Spielberg wrote and directed officially. Did you remember?
I think that's what I read as well. And Spielberg had said that because he had so many conversations with Stanley about the film and the script, that Spielberg translating that to someone else to screenwrite will have something lost in translation and won't keep the heart of what Stanley was trying to do. So Spielberg took, I don't know how many months to actually write the screenplay himself, which is still bonkers to me.
Yeah. I'm just changing the letterbox backdrop for this movie.
I changed mine. That shot of Haley through the
light?
like reflections in the glass,
Oh,
like wrecked. There's so many shots that I'm like,
there's so many
Holy
insane
Lord.
shots like that where he looked through his own eyes
when he
later in
walks
the
into
movie.
his eyes.
That's
Oh my
what?
God. Insane shot. When she drops him off at the in the forest,
Uh-huh.
and the shot of him like touching the car, and it pans to like the side mirror looking at him driving away.
Oh yeah.
Holy Lord.
Yanis, the all-timer. I
Goated.
mean, geez Louise, there's so much. And in that making out, he talks about like, Steven and I really like smoke. I think I like it a bit more than he does. But I mean, the imprinting scene
Oh my God.
is stunning. Just like,
Yeah.
like if that's the one thing that you've produced in your lifetime, it's that scene. It's still like an all-timer that you can look back on. But there's just so many amazing scenes in this movie. Like I mentioned the Minority Report aesthetic, but it's just like maybe this is just like the Janice, Steven future aesthetic, and I'm all in for it. Honestly, it's gorgeous stuff.
Yeah.
Just like the amount of like talent to put these shots together is just mind blowing to me.
Right.
Yeah, that was going to be my next point of just
Talk about it.
Spielberg flexing on us this whole movie. The fact like there's so many stylistic, thematic shots, like just interesting, compelling things to look at throughout the whole thing. And it can kind of like feel overwhelming because I feel like in some other movies, like someone would go for one or two of these shots and be like, oh, that's a nice shot. But it's like the whole movie long, it's this. And the use of reflection that they have, I mean, it's just like all the time. There's the shot where he's watching her make the coffee and just his face reflected off of like the stainless steel countertop. I took a picture of that. I was like, there's so much stuff like that of just him seeing himself, him being, sharded through glass or whatever it is throughout like the whole movie. It's so, I mean, it's beautiful because it's like, it just looks great, but then also the way it just layers over top of just the story of like, this kid is a reflection of real people and he's like searching after that. And you see it in front of you, visualized that way, the whole movie. It's so good.
It's also wild to think about if Stanley directed this at some point. Like to think about when they get to Rouge City. Like to think it would be more like Stanley's like Clockwork kind of orange feel, or just Stanley's aesthetic or his way of creating a film. For this, I think there's a reason why he probably reached out to Spielberg, really, because maybe his style would never have fit this in the way he directs. But just thinking of an AI movie in Kubrick's universe just kind of rocks my world too.
Mm-hmm. Even the visuals of the 2000 years in the future stuff is awesome. Like them cutting through the ice to reveal like different squares of like the city and stuff. Oh my God. The design of the ship.
Yeah.
What?
Even today, that ship is like, what?
Yes.
The way it all breaks apart when they
It's
land.
so amazing.
Yo, that was bonkers.
It's so amazing. Gosh.
And that was after I thought the movie was done. When
Right,
he
that could have been an
freezes in
ending
ice
before
at
that.
the end, I'm like, oh damn, what
This
an
was
ending.
the fourth ending.
I know.
And some people I think were like, I was thinking as you guys were talking about like the visuals were like gobsmacked by it. But like people were weirded out and like confused by this movie when it came out. Apparently like they were expecting some kind of like Steven Spielberg adventure action movie, not this kind of dark, thesis on belonging. And I think also people thought that the ending was kind of hokey and like, oh, there's Spielberg's tacked on ending to whatever Kubrick wanted to do. But apparently that was like not the case at all. Like this is what Kubrick wanted the ending to be. And he didn't, add any of that stuff. But I definitely think this movie has been like viewed from a different lens 20 years later.
Yeah, for sure.
At least in my opinion. Gosh. How about, let's talk about like this AI robot doll mecha. First of all, I love just mecha. Wish that caught on a little bit more. But I mean, their son is, what, contracted some kind of disease without a cure. He's he's like frozen so they can solve it. So this husband buys a child robot for his wife who is like perpetually grieving their frozen child. How do you not have one conversation about
Just
this
one.
before he brings the child robot home? Just one conversation.
Yeah.
They're going into Divorce City, like at warp speed. There's no question they're not getting divorced.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Your thoughts on bringing a new child into the house?
I wrote in my notes, this dad effed up beyond the amount any husband has ever effed being without telling her beforehand. Just
Catastrophic.
insane.
It's catastrophic.
I mean, we've all been there, but never this bad. Never this bad.
Oh my God.
And on the flip side, when the coma child wakes up and comes home,
God.
I was like, get this kid out of my face.
Yeah, the
He's
real
not
one,
replacing
the real
my
kid.
Haley. He's
Yeah.
not replacing my Haley. Get him out of here.
Yeah, I wanted him gone as well.
Get Forrest Gump out of here.
I mean, she is like a wreck. Remember, like they had the private conversation. She's freaking out. Like he can never replace our child or whatever. It's crazy. And then the kid, they developed the technology to bring their kid out of hibernation. And I was just like, this could wreck her again.
Mm-hmm.
They have this kid that she's imprinted with, the robot Haley. But man, oh God. I almost was like, he's having these problems. Haley is with this human brother. How do they not just bring him back for tech support? Like, where is tech support in any of this
one
stuff?
Update.
I woke up in the middle of the night. He had scissors. He was cutting something. He almost drowned my boy, my real boy. Can we just take a look at him for a few weeks? Can you tell me what's going on? None of that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is like their prototype too. Like we're not getting any feedback from this at all.
There should be a team living in the pool house.
Right. Johnny
with
Ive
like
should be there.
computer monitors reviewing everything all day long for this kid.
That's so true.
Oh God. Yeah, it's just, I mean, the genesis of like the movie is, they even say it. Did I write it down? I propose we build a robot who can love. If a robot could love, what responsibility does the other person have towards that robot? Is asked from, I think, the Claudia Gator who was in Magnolia, who, remember, she was interviewing Tom.
Yeah.
But it's such a fascinating question because let's presume that this happens tomorrow, where you can buy a child or a person who can love, and like this is kind of like some kind of, grief process. Are you treating that like a human being?
Yeah.
Like a real person with a soul, if a soul exists? But it's just so fascinating. Like, and what responsibility does everyone have to the robot and like your relationship with that thing, whatever it is? I mean, it's crazy to think about. I don't know what the heck our modern society would do should it come to that.
I feel like they'll totally, at first, like I can't see how any other way this doesn't fall into like, this is your property to start.
Yeah.
Like I could see it changing at some point, but I mean, we already have these, I'm reading stories, every couple of weeks about guys falling in love with AI chatbots.
Oh yeah.
This is already happening. And it's just chat. Like once we get an Android, it's over. Right.
Yeah.
And like, but I can't imagine them saying like, you owe anything to this robot that you bought. Like, this goes to the Supreme Court.
We can't even regulate AI. There's like no regulation on AI. Like imagine what it's going to be like if we could sell robot AI.
Yeah.
Like we're all screwed.
It took years for a multi-billion-dollar empire of Disney to just sue one AI company at this point. And who knows where that'll even go. We're so far behind like any sort of regulation at this point.
But I mean, if a company can figure out, like, I remember us talking about, like, if a company can figure out an AI chatbot that could just like be a friend or a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I feel like we would solve so much problems because of like incel dudes who cannot get a real relationship and they just go south. I don't know. It's just so crazy to think about. So fascinating. Like, what would it be good? Would it be a net positive on society?
Well, yeah. You think about it that way. Could everyone have a friend who would give the best advice, would always give you advice, and would actually be good? Not just like good in giving you what you want, but like would actually be like your therapist. Like, what if every single human in the next 5 years could have a personal therapist available to them 24/7, who will help you in any area of your life, and that comes as like just a service. Like, that could change the world in a lot of ways. If your best friend is giving you the best advice all the time.
But then you have to have who is writing.
Well, some of us have our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Dale, can you cut that out? Cut that. But then it's like, who is writing the program? Like, are you going to buy Sam Altman's robot? Can you trust that team? Are you going to buy Grok from Elon Musk? Like, what friend would you buy from Elon Musk? So then I feel like we're back in the same place. Actually. We're going backwards.
We're back in circles.
Remember his body gyrating in that interview where he was like tweaking out?
His chest alone. There were better Stan Winston robots in this film than there are than Elon Musk's actual body.
Stan Winston developed Elon Musk's body.
There's like 10 feet behind Elon is Stan Winston with a cable controlling his body.
Remote control.
Just remote controlling his body.
Danny, next on your list.
Let's continue talking about purchasing robots. And can you imagine ordering a Jude Law sex bot? Christ alive. Jude in this movie.
Yeah.
What's that cost?
I know. I was about to say the same thing. How much would it cost to get that sex bot realistically?
Well,
30,000?
$50,000?
You can't own one. That's why you got to rent it by the half hour.
That's a rental.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you mean.
It's definitely a rental.
I mean, how much would an hour with Gigolo Joe cost, you think?
I mean, that economy?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
The polar caps have already melted.
Right.
What are we paying for these days?
What is money?
The robot has your jobs.
That's right. What are people doing for money? Realistically, if these robots are around
they
and
get an allowance, I guess. And then they go spend it with Gigolo Joe.
When will we have
what did he say?
Income?
When you
I wrote that down. Don't worry. Let me find it.
I'll let you. I love you that you guys wrote this down. Fucking say it.
Let's see. I'm scrolling down. Where is it? Once you've had a robot, you'll never want a real man again.
I was on my knees.
Yeah, she was on her knees after he said that. If you follow.
Lord have mercy.
I love the making of talking about how they tried to make him, a surreal robot design and they couldn't quite nail it. So they gave him like almost that prosthetic
the chin.
And then she wanted to make his hair look a little bit fake. So they put like a mask over him and they just like spray painted the edges of his hairline to make it look like it was
It really
fake.
did.
It looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a master at her job.
I actually didn't even like clock in the film that they would have added anything to his chin. But when you see him in the chair and then they see him put the chin on, it's like, oh damn, he does look like an android.
Yeah. Also his like clothing design was pretty smart.
Yeah.
Like it looked almost like doll-ish.
And then I just love the story of him with David throughout the film. I really loved him when he grabs his hand in the cage and they kind of have that quick connection. Mm-hmm. And he kind of is his protector for so long, helping him find the Blue Fairy. And I don't know if I've seen enough Jude Law movies. And I really need to dig into more than just The Holiday of Jude Law. So
Skeleton Crew.
oh yeah, he's Star Wars
Yeah.
goated at this point too.
What was the story? The story was that woman's husband who had killed her and then framed Joe for it.
Yeah, I think it was the guy that he talked to downstairs. Yeah, and then he comes up. So I think he killed her, and so he sets up the robot.
Oh, he ordered Joe to set him up for the kill.
That's how I understood it.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I read it as just like he found out that his wife was having sex with Gigolo Joe.
Oh,
Because he asked her, he's like, when was the last time you saw her? And he says the time, but then as he leaves, he's like, you killed me first, Joe. I read that as like, you killed me when you were having an affair with my wife.
Oh crap! I didn't catch that at all. I just thought he was just getting
It happens
framed
fast.
for murder. Yeah, it happens
really
real
fast.
quick.
How about the flesh circus? Flesh
fair.
Flesh fair. Gleason.
Such a weird scene.
It almost takes me out of it for a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
I think
so
it does that for most
insane.
people.
I think of anything like that whole scene could have been cut from this movie and it'd still be okay.
I mean, maybe there's just a better way to do it because it goes from like this Spielbergian, that first act is like, it's brilliant. And then he gets dropped off into the woods and you go into this Mad Max kind of world of humans destroying robots for pleasure. And it just, I don't know, visually it's like bonkers. You have the Chris Rock being shot through a cannon. It goes off the rails for a bit for me.
Yeah, it's such a shift after that first act where, you know, he's one-on-one. It's in this house with this mom and dad. It's very intimate. You're like getting invested in the Monica like story of it all. Like, where is this going to go with her? And then it just takes a turn completely until you're like, you feel like you're in a different movie suddenly. And like, why am I at a circus and Brendan Gleeson's here? It's just very strange.
Yeah, it is a strange scene, and I think I've come to appreciate it more on multiple viewings. I definitely would feel like, I think the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, this is kind of long. Why am I here for so long? Like, everything kind of sucks here. Everyone's dying. But like the scene of the robots, castaways, like finding parts under the moonlight was pretty cool and freaky.
Them actually casting amputee actors to make it look right when they're putting on arms. That's wild too.
Yeah, so cool.
The hound bikes. I totally forgot about that. That is so weird.
That is
such
weird.
a weird
feels
turn.
like a design of Stanley's.
It feels like a Schumacher. the lights on the guys driving the bikes too. It felt like it was straight out of like Batman.
That was crazy.
You know, there are some things in this movie that I think look so great, but then other things that remind me, it's like, oh, this is very 2001, especially like any of the computer monitors, like all had like rounded corners.
Yeah.
Like just that weird look and like pastel colors and big buttons. I was like, this is so early 2000s.
How about that guy? Just remember, like, Hurt. They like his team comes into a meeting room and Hurt is sitting in front of that computer, and the guy's like talking to the computer. Like, even it just seems so painful. Like, this seems like the least desirable way to operate this computer in front of 20 people. Proto, final point.
You know, I forgot until watching it again. It's just the Pinocchio of it all.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many interesting ways that it's communicated. And just kind of like amazing that like, all right, it's this guy wrote it. Kubrick wanted to make it, influenced how it was written. Steven Spielberg writes the script, but then it's also based on Pinocchio.
Yeah.
It has like so many layers in that way.
And she reads Pinocchio to him. It's so meta.
Yeah, I mean, it gets very heavy handed with the Pinocchio stuff. I mean, like, but you know, he's in the sub and it just says Pinocchio right there. He goes to Geppetto's.
Yeah.
But I did like how it feels, and so like it does interesting things of like one way, it feels almost like the story is told in reverse, where in Pinocchio, he starts in the workshop in Geppetto's and then he goes off to try to become a real boy. In this, it's more like he at the beginning thinks he's real. and he's like with the person he wants to be with, but then he loses them. And then he ends up back at the workshop and kind of discovers where he was made. So there's little things like that of how it's twisted around. And I was trying to remember of like Jude Law. It's been a long time, but isn't like there's someone takes him to,
Pleasure Island?
To like the circus, right? And that's
The
like
Flash
Jude
Fair?
Law's. Yeah. So that
Or
would be
in
like Jude
Pinocchio.
Law's
In Pinocchio.
character. And then
Pleasure
even like,
Island, yeah.
I mean, just even like the whale, you know, of like him diving in the sub going down, and Jude Law dying. So there's like a lot of fun stuff with the Pinocchio story in this, even though I think it probably lays it on a little too hard. I don't think we need the Pinocchio signs at the end, but I don't know. In some ways I get like the you know, it makes it feel very much more like a fairy tale.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, the that underwater stuff looks great. I'd like, how about her like tricking him into getting the answers to bring him back home? Because I remember like the first time I watched this, I was like, how are they getting back to Hurt? Like everything seems so perfect for this to happen. Like, how did this even work? And then Hurt's like, oh yeah, that was the one time we interfered. We kind of gave you answers you needed. But yeah, on multiple viewings, the Pinocchio stuff definitely is more apparent for me, but I still love it. Like, I still love to see this kid robot yearning for, you know, human connection with his mom. Like, I just want you to love me. Yeah. And like him stuck underwater wishing to the blue fairy until his like power runs out. Who knows how long he was doing it for?
2,000 years.
And then that could have been the ending of the movie. And then there's 2,000 years later, whatever robots evolve into appear. And then there's like a whole other fourth act. Like for the first time ever, a movie has a fourth act. That whole sequence is nuts. I feel like that with the future robots and them like reading his mind or getting his data and sharing the data and how they can bring someone back. I love the fourth act. I love that, like how he does get that one day with her after all that time.
I texted Casey after I finished. I was like, I'll put money on it that Slim cries at the end of this film.
I mean, it is like the movie is like your desire for human connection, and then like you lose someone. It like boiled down. Like, I wish I could just get one more day with that person.
God.
And he does get it, and he's like so content. I mean, the last few lines of them together,
I'm gonna cry.
She wakes up and he's like, "I found you." Unbelievable. And then her last lines, "I do love you. I've always loved you." And like, he can just go to, like, I'm going to bed too. This is it. Like, I don't need anything else.
Well, he dies, right? Like he
I think he,
achieves
like, shuts
humanity,
down.
right?
Yeah.
That's his like, he becomes a real boy at that moment. He dies like the rest of us.
But like, also, I mentioned earlier where like he says his brain is falling out. Maybe the greatest line in any movie in the last 25 years. But his reaction to finding out that he's not unique and that he says, "I thought I was one of a kind," and Hurt's like, "You are the first of a kind." And then he sees the room of like himself, and then there's like a girl version of him as well in the boxes. It's just like wild to think that a robot could feel that way and then like have to continue on. And he doesn't want to continue on. Remember, he like jumps off the building.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Into the water.
Yeah.
He says "mommy" right before he does.
Yeah, at the beginning, like William Hurt asks, you know, or someone asks, like, if they can love, does that mean they can also hate? Oh, I think that the dad says that. He's like, if it has the capacity to love, will it have the capacity to hate? And at one point he does say, like, we hate Teddy, like he writes that down. But then also it's like, if you can love, can you be so lovesick that you have the capacity to kill yourself too? And it's like, he does.
He does.
It's wild.
I love Jude's last lines too. Remember, he's like getting sucked up by the magnet.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I am.
Yeah.
I was."
Yeah.
Golly.
I love, there's so many things like that where you can tell that he has no fear of death. as a robot, but it's so subtle in just like the way he talks about it, where he's always smiling, like he's not worried at all.
Yeah. Danny, what did you think of the fourth act?
I mean, the fourth act, I mean, anything past the flesh fair was, bringing me back around to falling back in love with this film. But that fourth act, after they bring him out of the ice and he has that last day with his mom, I mean, I was just wrecked. I was absolutely wrecked. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe that it was actually added to this film because I honestly felt like it was over when that Ferris wheel falls on him and traps him underground as he's wishing to the blue fairy. I'm like, damn, what an ending. That's wild. To have another 20 minutes of exposition and the even have just introducing a new robot, alien, sentient figure into the film in the last few minutes is wild. But I mean, inject that final act into my veins. Him with his mom blowing out the candles with the one candle left. It just wrecked me. Incredible stuff. Visually, it's stunning. The glow of it all, the Spielberg of it all at the end. It was, I mean, it's what I hope for in every Spielberg film I watch.
Mm-hmm. Anything else on that final act?
Oh yeah. When the future robot says the space-time path for Monica, we cook it. Like I was like, this is amazing. This whole explanation of what's happening here.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, the movie it reminded me of is actually the Interstellar scene where Murph gets back to his mom, his daughter. He gets back to Murph and he sits down and holds her hand. It's like, did Nolan take that from this?
Another theft from Christopher Nolan.
Chris.
But so good.
Goated theft.
I love artificial intelligence. One of my favorite movies. Whose turn? Final points. We had Menchie's? Danny, did you have any other final points?
I think, well, it can be a part of the Menchie's. I mean, I'll just say the John Williams score in this kind of, I think this is like not, I think strange is the right word. I think I was feeling kind of shocked by it. It's very subdued for, I feel like, John. There's a lot of piano. That 7-minute kind of, I listened to the score today. There's a 7-minute track, which is basically the final act with his mom. That piano score is like some of the best I've heard in cinema. Like there's something about it that kind of blew my mind. And just, this felt just different for John. There's a lot of tech. There's like a lot of electronic in that middle bit that he's working with.
I actually pulled the piano from that scene.
Good. You can, yeah. I hate you.
Got it.
So yeah, I was kind of surprised by this because I didn't feel like John. I think if I didn't know it was John coming into it, that I probably would have been like, oh, Spielberg didn't work with John with this film. But I think it's pretty brilliant to listen to also on its own because it's just kind of buried in there a bit. I feel like John's scores, like the Indiana Jones, the Jurassic Parks, the Star Wars, it's a character of itself in all the movies, and in this, it's in the background a lot. And I really liked this side of John.
Come home, John. Menchie's, Danny?
I think we've kind of covered everything. I wrote out David's face when he eats the spinach. When he breaks.
Oh my God.
Christ alive. That
Teddy
was
warned
unreal.
him. Teddy warned him.
He did warn him. Yeah, so this film, I was shocked at how sad it was. I felt sad the whole time. Like this film felt so full of heart, but like that heart was like broken. Like it's like it's full of a broken heart the whole time until you get to that final act where David becomes a real boy. And I was just gobsmacked by this movie. I thought I was going to hate it. And especially when we get to, not hate it, but I thought that the 2001 of it all was going to kind of bring it down a bit. But visually it looks great. The flesh fair is what caught me off guard the bit. because I was really sunk. That first act really hooked me.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Casey when we finished, she was like, "What'd you think?" Because she didn't watch it with me. Like, I might be at 4 stars. And then the more I sat with it, the more I sat with the ending, I'm like, I might be at 4.5 stars. And then talk with you guys like, fuck it. I'm at 5. I'm at 5 stars with this film. I want to watch it again like immediately to just kind of sit with it. And I was kind of worried because a lot of my Spielberg love is just completely wrapped in nostalgia. And this coming into it is like, man, do I really dog on this Spielberg that I don't know this? I have no history with this, but there's a reason he's like being reached out to by Kubrick to make this film. And I'm smitten with it. I'm a little bit smitten, and I'm happy to have watched it now in this time of my life, because of where we're at and, you know, our conversations with AI. And I don't know, God bless Kathleen for producing this.
Thank you, KK.
Goat. She's the goat, first ever goat for a reason.
Yeah.
Folks. Also, Steven looked great in those making ofs. He looks fantastic.
Yeah, his fit is great.
Yeah. Proto?
Let's see, what else? I love the line, all her grief goes undigested at the beginning. I think the doctor says that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of eyes in this. Eyes, the window to the soul.
Mm.
Oh, the shot of the dads jumping into the pool. Classic Spielberg.
Yeah.
The camera underwater.
Classic,
And like I was like, even this looks good. These dads, like me jumping into a pool would not look that good, but these guys looked amazing.
They probably practiced diving underwater for 6 months for that scene.
I thought it was kind of weird that like you get the reveal that Hurt's character, David is modeled after his son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wouldn't this guy have like the first model? Like,
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole reason he's doing it?
Yeah. Or that he would be more attuned to what's going on in this family's life with this kid.
Way
this
more
robot.
connected.
Yeah, like this guy should be losing his mind, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why is he not in the garage with the
Right.
screens?
He should be like using binocular. He should be buying the house across the street and like tightening his binoculars, seeing what's going on.
That's interesting.
The ability to chase down our dreams. I love that line that Anthony Hopkins gives at the end of just that he like falls asleep dreaming.
Was that Anthony Hopkins?
I thought it was.
Or was it
not
Ben
him?
Kingsley? I thought it was
Kingsley
him too.
is
Oh,
AI.
Oh,
He's the main sentient at the
you're right.
end.
Could be wrong.
The specialist
We'll never
is
know.
Ben Kingsley.
There's no way to check, folks.
Robin Williams is Dr. No.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Meryl Streep is the Blue Angel. Or the Blue Fairy.
Yeah, it's kind of all I have. I think this movie, once you get out of that first act of the movie, it takes such a turn from how it feels, I think. And I think I get lost in the middle there, but there is something like Danny, you're saying about rewatching it. There's something like very almost like meditative about this movie. It's long, but it like takes its time and it explores these things, and you're not like scared. I'm like, you never feel scared for these characters, I think, maybe because they're robots, but there's just something almost like comforting as you're like watching this journey and like just reflecting on these themes and ideas. And like, I agree. Like, I feel much better about this movie after talking about it and like liking it a lot more. And I didn't watch the behind the scenes stuff, but now I really want to. I want to watch that ILM thing too. I didn't know that this was in that. But yeah, I think I'm at 4 stars. I think this movie, I mean, it's up there. I mean, the amount of goats alone.
Big list of goats. I mean, there's not, unfortunately, at least I couldn't find one YouTube video that was the entire making of. I had to watch a playlist of like
I watched the playlist too.
20 clips all lined up. One of them is just like a montage of people on screen. They're not even talking. They have
I saw that too. That was really weird.
It's so weird.
It's like the intro to a 90s sitcom.
It was. I love how Manhattan looks, that watery Manhattan. So cool. I mean, the water out of those statues outside of that building, it's just, give me an hour of making that. So cool. Jude walking down that street, was that, I don't think it was Rouge City, but maybe it was like that first scene where he's walking through the city, looked like the red light district.
Yeah.
So gorgeous. His face when she first reads Pinocchio to her real son, and like he's sitting off into the distance in that room. Oh my God, what a face. How is Haddonfield not underwater? Every scene with his face half covered is magic. No one builds children. No one ever has. What's the point? It's interesting that I think, he was like the first child robot. I mean, technically, why would you? They don't age. You just have a child that same age forever. I mean, that also probably does like a weird mental thing to any parent.
Right.
Yeah.
The kid's not growing.
They don't
old.
grow.
Imagine having a permanent 11-year-old in your house.
Kill
No.
me.
Thank you. My brain falling out is maybe 5. Like as soon as he said that, it was solidified 5 stars. Of course, I'm 5 stars for this movie.
Oh,
Of course. I loved in the making of Yanis, the cinematographer, was asked, like, I think off screen, like what his inspirations were for this movie. And he kind of talks about like, I don't really have any. He says, I use my life experience to express myself.
God,
That was
Wow.
a great sentence.
his brain's falling out.
That was nice. Yeah, my brain was falling out of the couch when he said that. I'm so glad we covered this, though. I feel
Yeah,
like this
me
was
too.
like a movie. When we did it for the Letterboxd show, I was like, oh, this is going to be a great episode. Great episode.
Mm.
Thank you,
Who's your
Kathleen.
guest for that? Do you remember?
Boy, I have no idea.
Okay.
Just be frank with everybody. I have no clue.
I'll ask the AI chatbot.
Okay, so we're not, for folks that aren't aware, we're not recording this live in our Discord. It's a surprise episode. And next week, there's a 5th week in the month. So July is still not happening quite yet. We announced the July slate at the top of the show. It's Blockbusted Volume 3, but we thought, what the heck could we do a 5th week on? And we decided to take it amongst ourselves. We've done a community vote in the past. People said they wanted a theme. They wouldn't stop talking about it. They're so excited for a theme. Let's put it to a vote. Okay. It didn't win. Nobody voted for it. We were lied to.
Yep.
We were betrayed.
Yeah.
And it will never happen again. So we're taking matters in our own hands. Any month that has a 5th week moving forward, that week will be Sexual Michael Douglas Week.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next week, we will be doing from, you talk about a master, Paul Verhoeven, 1992 Basic Instinct.
Another first
This
ballot.
is a big one.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't even breathe. I'm so excited for this. Streaming on Paramount Plus, America's network. Let's see. A violent police detective investigates a brutal murder that might involve a manipulative and seductive novelist. This one changed everything.
Yeah. God.
By the way, ChatGPT said it was Robert Daniels on your Best in Show episode.
I think that's accurate.
I know it is.
Let's see. I have seen this movie. I was stunned. I was stun locked while watching this movie. Proto, you have seen this movie?
I've never seen
My
it.
brain fell out. Yeah.
We need to make a meme of him like in that chair, just like slumped.
Yeah, I think I watched this last year. Whew, what a ride. I'm excited.
Michael Douglas, Sharon Stone. This changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah.
Look at his cast profile. Can you pull up? I'll drop it in our
Okay, thank you.
DMs here. You guys got to see this photo of Paul. Wild and out.
Paul, please.
But that strand of hair that's just like,
Yeah, Paul. We get another picture, please.
oh my, maybe it's a Dutch thing.
Oh.
So stick around, folks. We might do an uncut conversation after the credits roll tonight. usually what our patrons get. So that's just a taste. Proto, any closing thoughts this week?
I've been giving recommendations for other movies to watch. And I got another one now because when I think of artificial intelligence, I often think also of a movie that came out in 1999 from Christopher Columbus, Bicentennial Man.
Oh, wow.
Of course, starring Robin Williams. So if you want to, we saw a boy become real. If you want to see a man become real, watch that movie.
Oh my God, that's haunting. Haunting. We'll see everybody next week for Basic Instinct. $70mm is a tape deck production featuring original artwork provided by Danny Haas. Spiritual guidance and V'ger, the robot who loves movies, provided by Pertalexis. Producer at large Dale_A. And music composed by Cinematric. Prints and other merch are available on 70mmpod.com. This episode was mixed, edited, and produced by me, Slim. Support our Patreon for access to our VHS Village Discord to talk movies with new friends, access to our exclusive episodes in the 70mm vault, discounts on merch, uncut episodes, and a physical membership card mailed to you. To check out other Tape Deck podcasts, find the link in the episode notes. And if you'd like to support our friends at Letterboxd and upgrade to Pro or Patron status, you can do so with a 20% off discount using the links on 70mmpod.com. Goodbye.
This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Bicentennial Man. Danny, have you seen that movie?
No, God, no.
Phew, that's a crazy movie.
How am I spelling My spelling is so bad, our search won't even harbor a guess.
Just search Robin Williams.
1999. Oliver Platt. Sam Neill. What? One robot's 200-year journey to become an ordinary man.
Just an ordinary man.
Not streaming anywhere easily.
No, definitely not.
3.2 average.
Changed me.
Actually, speaking of ratings, I was looking at AI.
What is this poster of this Robin Williams poster where he's standing behind the robot?
Let's see it. Drop it.
Oh,
Drop it in chat.
Okay, hold on.
Drop it.
Oh my God, I just saw it. Yeah.
What in the world?
Drop it in chat.
All right, it's coming. Did you get it?
No, not yet.
Did you get it?
Did you drop it in chat? What the? He looks like Deadpool.
He does look like Ryan Reynolds in that. What the?
That is creepy. That is awful poster. That's got to be
It's
like
a
some
terrible poster.
random non-American poster. Dinner's done.
Dinner time.
Any updates to our chicken top three? Top three chicken spaces that we're getting food from. Part of the, I think you went to one of your local chicken spots.
Where'd you go?
I went to my Lovin' Chicken.
Okay.
Lovin' Chicken, fried chicken, honey fried chicken. We had for Father's Day, we got the tots again. I went to this place before, got the tots, got the tenders, and Jenna got some. We got some bone in wings, fried, and the sauces. Got an array of sauces, and it was delicious. It was fantastic. I mean, I love the tenders. I could eat a pile of those. I eat them till they're gone.
Someone uploaded a photo of a Nashville hot chicken sandwich, and it looks insane. Do they still have that on the menus?
You know, I've never gotten any of the sandwiches. I always see when I go, because it's pickup only. They just have a window you pick it up from. But they always have a their menu out there, and we always just get the chicken. But every time I'm there, I'm like, oh, they do sandwiches too. But it's in Philly. It's like a 20-minute drive for me, so it's kind of out of the way to go. You got to go across the bridge. So when we go, it's usually just for like dinner.
I'm looking at the menu right now. Yeah, they got Nashville hot. Oh yeah, $13.75. Oh yeah,
Highly recommend it. I mean, I love their chicken.
I need to get over there.
You got to do some research.
Someone's got to research.
Maybe this weekend I got to go on assignment. See what's cooking over there. What did I just have?
Taking the 2 kids and a neighbor friend to How to Train a Dragon in the morning.
Really?
Yeah, kids want to go see it. Taking one of their friends.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm excited, actually. Yeah.
Did you see that video that James was in for Letterboxd?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh wait, I didn't see that. Where is that on? Where is that?
It's on Letterboxd, IG. Yeah, they sent us like a kit that they were sending out. It has a making of book that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. James was annoyed with the music choice that we made for the video.
Really? What did he think? What did he want?
He wanted Test Drive from the movie.
Oh.
But I was like, yeah, James, of course we're going to use the song.
This is like
movie.
Kubrick and Spielberg all over again.
He was like, as we were filming it, he's like, Dad, you got to tell him they got to use Test Drive for this video. And I was like, James, of course we're going to use How to Train a Dragon song for the video. We didn't use it. I was like, maybe we can't do that on giveaway videos. I don't know the rules.
Interesting.
I'm a big fan of Union Jacks wings. Pretty ever
Union Jacks?
Union Jacks?
No, I've never even heard of it.
In Glenside.
Glenside.
Got some good ass wings in Union Jacks.
Okay.
That's where we were last week. I think I took a photo of those. We also got one of those Costco pies. You were talking about like how much money you didn't spend at the pool before Danny got on the call.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can get a giant pizza pie, pepperoni at Costco for $9.
Dang.
That feeds a whole family. Like,
Is it a big one?
it's a big boy. Like I see families eating at like the food court area. Like they just get a pie and sit there and have
For
a
hours.
gigantic dinner. Costco has to be protected at all costs.
That's crazy. It's like the cost of one person. $8.
Right. And then you can get a hot dog and a soda for $1.50.
Mm-hmm. You could take that to the pool, Proto.
Yeah. Wow, that's a crazy.
You could be a hero at that pool.
Yeah.
Walking up with a Costco pie,
The
a hot dog.
The Wendy Peppercorn lifeguard gets off the stand to come give you mouth to mouth as you bring in. Resuscitate.
Have you ever gotten the chicken bake at Costco? Did we talk about this? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chicken bake.
I love the chicken bake.
You get a
I don't
chicken
think I've ever
bake?
gotten a chicken bake.
No.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh my God. It's like
You want to
It's
talk
almost like a
casserole?
it's like a stromboli, but it's got chicken,
Does it got
bacon,
bread?
mozzarella cheese,
It's like a baked
Caesar
loaf
dressing. Yeah, it's like a loaf of bread.
with chicken and cheese like melted inside of it. It's insane.
What?
The
Yeah, it's
technology
really
that they're uncovering in Costco.
AI.
Yeah, I think they have the patent on it somehow. But you can actually
Interesting.
get them. You can buy them in bulk at Costco, like a freezer item.
God, if Wawa had those,
Chicken
Pwah.
bakes.
Pwah. Speaking of it, I actually just realized I had like 2,000 points in my Wawa app. I could get a whole pizza
Oh my
at
God.
Wawa
oh
for free.
my!
You'd be a hero.
I always forget to use that.
Yeah, you got to use it. You can scan it at mobile checkout. You got to remember to do it.
Oh yeah.
You gotta scan.
You could add it to your Apple Wallet.
Oh, have I done that? Maybe I have done that. Let me see. Gotta do some research. Oh, I do have it in here. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. It's sitting right here.
Oh my God. Damn. Yeah, I've been asking Amanda if she wants me to just like pick up Wawa a few times last like month. And she's like, I don't know if I like Wawa food.
What?
She's like out. She's out on Wawa food.
Mm.
Out.
It's not for
She'll take
everybody.
a coffee, but she's out on food.
Jenna doesn't.
Amanda's
do
a
Wawa.
coffee drinker?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you're not.
No.
Okay.
I don't believe in this stuff.
Oh,
What were you saying
My
about Jen?
PED
Jenna
of
is that
choice.
on Wawa?
Oh yeah, Jenna would not. Jenna, like, if I say like, let's get a sandwich at Wawa, like, or that I had one, she's like ready to get into divorce proceedings.
Oh my
She's
God.
like, I can't have you. I can't be married to a man like this eating Wawa food.
I mean, technically, you do have some of the best food in the country within like 10
Right.
minutes of where you live. So maybe
Yeah.
that's plays into it.
Well, that's also a problem
For
with
the
like the
same price.
pizza. Like, there's if I brought home a Costco pie when like we have the pizza around us, the divorce proceedings.
I'm going
once
to bring a Costco pie the next time we come to your house.
just to see
Just to
Jenna's
watch
face.
Jenna's reaction.
My kids would love it. Like they wanted to get Wawa pizza for the longest time. They were like,
How much is a pizza at like your preferred spot if you got like a pepperoni pie?
20 minimum.
I think it's 30. Yeah.
You could get 3 Costco pies and still have money left over to get a hot dog and a soda.
We usually get like a Sicilian though. And maybe a pepperoni would be like 28.
You can get basil in the Costco aisle to throw on it.
Yeah, a square pie there, I think they're like 35.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, now
That's
I got to try
crazy.
this.
But
pie.
also it's like I'm feeding my family for $35. Like that sounds
that's still
good,
not bad.
you know.
Still not bad. There's 5
Takeout
of you.
for 35, feed and
Yeah, but
there's
what
leftovers.
if, try this. What if you wanted to feed your family for $9? Just think about it.
It's so
Yeah.
true.
Think about it.
Someone's got to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Someone has to.
I'm a pizza now so
yeah.
bad.
I need a pie ASAP.
Christ. If I eat any dairy right now, I'm finished.
Dairy?
My night's ruined. My dairy cutoff is like 7:30.
You have a dairy cutoff?
I have to.
Do you have
Or
like
my night.
nightmares?
I have Tropicana Thunder at like 3 a.m.
Oh,
There ain't no chance.
Tropicana steamer at
Yeah.
3 a.m.
There's no way.
I can't eat chocolate after like 8 o'clock because I'll have nightmares.
Oh, no,
Really?
no. I'm talking about things exiting my body.
Oh my God.
Bad.
Liquid nightmares. Weird. I've never. Is that a normal thing? Do people have to stop eating dairy after a certain time if they don't want to go to the bathroom at a certain
I've
time?
noticed if like I say 8 o'clock, I don't know actually the cutoff, but I gave myself a cutoff because if we're playing Apex and there's like pizza in the fridge and I have a slice, I'm fucked at like 3 a.m. or anything with cheese. Like I'm bodied.
God.
Ice cream? No, I can't go past 8.
Wow.
dang.
Yeah.
Costco.
I should go get it checked out, but I'm not going to.
There's no time.
There's no time.
This isn't an ad. We're not sponsored by Costco
We should be.
unless.
If you're listening, Costco.
But their vanilla ice cream is also amazing.
Really?
It's like super premium vanilla ice cream. Costco brand. Incredible.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Vanilla.
Flavor. Don't say vanilla. God.
Chocolate chip cookie dough, maybe?
No.
I'm like triple chocolate fudge,
Oh,
chocolate
what?
chip,
You're a chocolate
fudge,
boy?
just give me all the different kind of chocolate.
Really?
If I had to pick one ice cream, I love it all though. I eat any
that's
of
a
it.
pick.
What kind of milkshake would you get?
Vanilla.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
It's home base. It's safe.
When I was in New Zealand for work, we went to like duck. I'm not sure if I think it was duck ice cream. They have some duck thing ice cream
Mhm.
place. But I was always getting like vanilla and everyone was just like eye rolling, scoffing at me.
Yeah, I would definitely. I'd
Basic
push
boy.
you over.
I've made mistakes though. Like you're out, you're on vacation and you get
Yeah, you
ice
wanna
cream
try
someplace. You're like,
something.
yeah, I'm gonna get courageous here. I'm gonna try this like, Jolly Rancher or whatever. You're like idiot.
It's a gamble.
It's a huge gamble.
There's a place called Jenny's, I think, by us, and they have this ice cream that's called Mexican hot chocolate,
Mm.
and it's one of my favorites. I think about it often. How I can
Mm.
never have it.
Did you say that place that we went to, the breakfast place, moved away or they moved further away?
Oh,
Is that still there?
Raga? They moved from Palm. They moved like 45 minutes north.
Oh,
Yeah, a little bit of a hike, but it's St. Augustine, which is a cool city to be in.
That's good for them, right?
Yeah, it's definitely better for them, I think.
are we going to make that trek again? A 45-minute drive to Raga?
Hell yeah.
Next on my list, the Trump phone. You guys seen this?
I did.
Did see that.
Yeah.
This is like
I
a
needed to pre-order
Android
it,
phone,
though.
right?
It's
gotta
Android?
be. Yeah. Yeah, of course it's Android. What? They're not selling their iOS phone. It's made out of solid gold.
Wasn't there other things besides Android? Like Windows?
There's nothing else. Did you say WebOS?
Windows.
Oh.
Like a Windows phone.
They
Is
don't
that
make
not
phones
anymore?
anymore.
They
Yeah.
don't?
No, they got out. They exited
They're
the
smart.
business.
So it's an Android. So never
Go
mind.
ahead.
Nope.
Keep going.
It's
You were about to
uncut.
say something about Trump.
I was going to make fun of Android people, but that's mean.
Oh.
The amount of comments we're going to get on Spotify.
How about that one person commenting that they didn't want to hear about my London trip on the
Yo.
Patreon feed?
Our patron.
Oh, man.
I mean, I wonder if those episodes unlock on the Patreon feed. So maybe that person like stumbled upon our Patreon feed and listened to that episode randomly. I don't know.
I don't know.
Sociopath. Anyone that comments negatively about a podcast in like iTunes, you need to be, they're sociopaths.
we definitely
Yeah.
have hate listeners.
Sure.
Do you think we have hate listeners?
Yeah.
I have to read this one I share with you guys. Danny not liking Sly's performance because of the cancer arc is the most Danny thing. Laugh emoji. Also, his criticism of the writing is essentially, quote, I feel like the writing could have been different, unquote. Someone get Hollywood on the phone. Danny's got script notes. Christ. I got clocked so hard with that one.
That seems like a fun jab,
I think it's,
though.
it's definitely funny.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Oh, I missed your name. I'll pull it back up.
Protolexis.
Thank you, Protolexis. Protolexis 69420.
I mean, yeah, we get a lot of comments on Spotify.
Let's see.
The holy war against Spotify rages on.
ZZ_Lou. Thank you, Lou. That was funny. Made me
But
laugh.
there are a lot of comments on Spotify.
Yeah.
There's a smart addition on their part to add comments. It used to be like Q&A or something. I can't remember what it was.
Someone put a timestamp 50 minutes 45 seconds. Salute skull emoji. Proto my guy on the Fallout episode.
What he said.
Oh,
What
I
did he
think that's
say?
the Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh. You and Rebecca.
The Rebecca is mommy making letterbox review.
Mommy.
That was read.
Oh my gosh.
Poetry.
Anything else on my list here? Let me see what's on theverge.com that we need to talk about.
Oh, going straight to Verge.
Inside Microsoft's complicated relationship with OpenAI. There's nothing exciting happening in tech right now.
No, tech's dead.
Dead game. Let's see. Did I buy anything interesting recently? I bought another Evergoods thing. I'm like addicted
What'd you
to
buy
this
on
company.
Evergoods?
I got another pouch of theirs. Civic Access Pouch 2L.
Okay.
I love it. So I use one as like a tech pouch. So when I travel, I put all my tech stuff in there. But it's also just good to have at home.
Okay.
Put like cables and wires
Yeah.
in there. I got another one. I'm going to use it for camera stuff.
Oh, you're into camera stuff?
Not really, but I can be.
Oh, why'd you say it like that? God,
I actually need to get more film. I ran out of film.
I have to take
my
a
Florida
couple to
trip.
develop.
From where?
Where'd
you go? Florida?
No, it's just a bunch of the family photos, theme park photos, Little League photos. I mean, when you have a half frame camera,
Well, you're the official photographer, aren't you?
I did take a lot of Little League photos for the families. Having the half frame camera, it takes a long time to get through a roll. So I think one roll is at least 2 months of photos.
Damn.
And then I flew through another one. I mean, 4 days on vacation, I only got through one other roll.
That's nuts.
Yeah. 72 photos for one roll.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Carter, were you making moves on buying a camera?
He still has film to develop from
You still haven't
last
gotten
year.
the developed from our last trip.
This is,
Listen.
can you just mail it to us and we'll get it
Seriously.
developed?
I'm getting on it. It's on my list. It's high on my list.
You know what? On your Florida trip, just bring it with you.
Oh.
We get developed down here.
Wow. I mean, I can do it. I have a spot in Philadelphia. It's just, I'm never going over
You
there.
were just there.
Like I don't remember. But I was looking at headlines. I mean, serendipitous kismet for what we're doing next week. Sharon Stone, 67, looks stunning as she goes braless in see-through top for sizzling magazine shoot.
Okay.
What is this on Reddit?
Playboy.
TheSun.com.
TheSun.com.
What are you doing on TheSun.com?
Well,
that's where he gets his news.
You were looking
Gaza.
at. What I was going to say. That unfurled right there. Sorry.
Oh my God. my Discord cookies are going to be off the charts this week.
You were looking for headlines, and I've been reading. You ever read DrudgeReport.com?
No.
So it's like a conservative, like it's been around for like 30 years. But I was reading the headlines last night, and it reads like the end times. Like it's insane headlines, just one after another. And that's where I saw this.
I can't believe Drudge Report is still around. I thought that would have gone like the HuffPost,
I thought that was some Alex Jones nonsense.
No, this guy's Drudge is the real deal.
Oh, the real deal.
What are Trump tacos? I keep seeing people talk about tacos, Trump or something. Is that a thing?
Oh, well, it was the acronym Trump always chickens out.
Oh. I thought it was like an orange shell with no filling.
Yeah, I'm waiting for just a photo of a shell with like his eyes on it or something. Some kind of Photoshop.
Yeah, this headline now says Trump tacos for 2 weeks.
I saw a video on Reddit of the 2016 presidential debate. He has changed so much in 10 years. He's like a shell of a human being. Like he came off as young in that Jeb debate.
He was young when he was like 70. Yeah, I saw that there was like going around his first, when he like declared that he was going to run for president in 2015 or whatever. And it's like, whoa, he looks like a completely different person.
Who is this guy? Can barely string together three words now.
Who, Biden? Sorry, I looked away.
Cut the stream. Cut it. Closing all these tabs. I had Tim Robinson's Wiki up.
Your tabs.
What's the word of this Elio movie? I saw one trailer. It just seemed like kind of milquetoast, but
I don't know, man. It's like, oh, look, a Pixar movie just came out. No one's talking about it.
Yeah,
it kind of blows my mind these days how we've come so far. It feels like Pixar were like event like movies, and now it's just like, here's a new Pixar.
Wow, I saw a trailer for this, but I didn't even remember it existed.
Domi Shi, the director of Turning Red, is co-directing this.
Love Turning Red.
Hello.
I mean, I was going to ask the kids if they wanted to see that, but I know they like really wanted to see How to Train a Dragon. So,
wait, when does this come out?
It's out this weekend.
What? How does this movie just get like nothing?
It's just out, right? Exactly. I was just at the Disney parks for 4 days. Not a banner, not a poster.
Damn, that's not good.
Not even at Hollywood Studios in the animation area. I don't remember seeing anything about Elio.
Is it too woke? Did it get canceled?
Is it woke?
It's hard to tell.
Oh.
I need someone to tell me. That's usually what happens.
Fire up the next episode of Tucker Carlson, Proto. Then you'll get your answer.
Check America's darling right now because he slammed Ted Cruz.
Good Lord.
Wow.
It's like, oh, wow. The lowest bar in the world is to make Ted Cruz look bad.
I mean, honestly,
way to go, Tucker.
It shows how, I don't want to say smart, but or talented. But you can see how he can swing people.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because he's now getting people on the left to be like,
right.
Pretty good interview.
Oh, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Way to go,
this
Tucker. This is what's happened the last 10 years. That's how he's like pulling people over to whatever he says, the idiot things that he says normally.
He's really good at what he does.
He's really good at it.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like he eviscerated Cruz in that interview.
Yeah. Like his condescension, like all the time as he's asking questions. Like you want to root for him because he's ruthless.
Right.
What do we have? Jon Stewart? Is he our
Jon Stewart just staring into the camera. What?
I mean, when he left the Daily Show and then went to Apple, it was like Dunzo. It's like Stern going to Sirius. No one's going to watch you. No one's going to talk about you.
I mean,
you might be doing good
Apple
work,
stuff.
but no one's going to talk about it.
No, his Apple stuff was bonkers.
I don't know. He's a great man, though. Great man.
Salt of the earth.
Imagine if we had live chat while we're talking about Tucker Carlson and Trump.
We wouldn't be allowed.
No,
they wouldn't allow it.
We'd be getting canceled in our own Discord.
Can cancel us.
I don't have any more news worth discussing.
All right.
Not that the Tucker Carlson would ever be worth discussing on this show, but let me scroll the bottom of this article. Anything? Nope.
Bottom of the barrel.
Nope. Did you watch, Danny, the trailer, the F1 trailer with like the vibration stuff on iPhone?
I have not watched one trailer. I've avoided it as much as I could.
Any? Period.
I've seen like clips as I like try to get it off the screen. But yeah, I'm trailer free going into this film, I think.
Oh. Don't you usually make fun of us for going trailer free?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Oh, I always make fun of you for that.
Interesting.
This is one I was like, I don't need to see it. That's the thing. This is I don't need to see. I know what it's going to be.
What are your thoughts on iOS going year numbers moving forward? iOS 26.
Oh, whatever. I don't care. I truly don't care.
Wow.
Good answer. Strong answer.
Sorry, that's about it. I mean, their names got stupid anyway. What am I even on right now? I am on Sequoia 15.
I mean, should have they just did this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, why they wait so long?
Did you just play the... Did I just hear that?
I'm going to hurt it.
All right, we should wrap up. It's getting late. Let's wrap it up. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I have a Jaws poster releasing tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty fun.
It's probably sold out by the time this episode hits.
It's a timed release, so you have all weekend to buy it. Can't sell out.
Do I have to be on Mondo.com?
Mondo Shop.
MondoShop.com.
I think that's what it was.
That's a big boy too, right?
24 by 36. It's a big one.
Gonna build a new wall for that.
Seriously. I'm excited. It was fun to work with them on a property that I love, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks amazing.
I went into GameStop the other day and they had like real Ghostbusters toys.
What the?
On Mondo's website, I guess. The
Ghostbuster line. That stuff's expensive too.
I now like go into GameStop every time I'm near one because I want to see what action figures they have.
Oh, that's a good move. I always do that at Walmart now. They have that like action figure section in the electronics.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I find all the McFarlane toys.
Same with Best Buy. Best Buy has one of those sections too.
Oh,
that's so weird that Best Buy has a section like that, but they don't even carry like Blu-rays anymore.
No.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I went in. I pulled an all-time bonehead move.
Mm-hmm.
I bought James an external hard drive for his Xbox Series
SSD?
S because he was running out of space. So I searched like Xbox compatible hard drives, and I got it. And he downloaded all these games. And he's like, "Dad, it's not letting me play. It says I have to move it, and you can't play games from external hard drives that are supported for Xbox. They have to be moved to the main drive. You can only get the Seagate expansion slot that goes in the back of an Xbox if you want to play from an external."
Oh. Oh, that's weird.
I've had a plug-in SSD drive on my Xbox before.
Do you have a Series Xbox? Do you have a Series X or an S?
The one before this one.
I think it changed with Series.
Oh. Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because you can't return it then.
No, I was able to return it.
They let you? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah, it was more expensive and it was only 1 terabyte. The one I got was 2 terabytes.
Damn.
But
Call of Duty will kick your butt. It's a massive file to download.
The file size
terabyte
I
in
gave is
itself.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
They should be investigated. Congress
What
should
are
be
they
having
putting on our
hearings
files?
on Call of Duty game file sizes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next time.